I was sort of surprised that when I was in a co-op job, I was like working in an office and I was a grown-up. I was like, that's not what I am. And then I was like, oh man, I'm doing all these like important things.
Basically how different it was to actually be in a research position compared to what we do in labs. When you're doing only research full-time, it becomes such a different experience.
My first big work experience was definitely a challenge, and there were mistakes every day, just because you're dealing with clients, you're dealing with employees, and at the time I was only 19 years old, and so, I mean, I'd only been making my lunch for like 5 years.
Probably the biggest surprise coming to Zambia for my last co-op was the cultural differences. I remember arriving just being like excited and keen and ready to go, and then like a few days in being very overwhelmed by like everything that just had come at me and the cultural differences that I was facing. And you adapt, and it's amazing how quickly you can adapt, but it is very overwhelming initially. Yeah.
Moving to a foreign country, especially in Asia, honestly is particularly stressful. Especially that first day where you move into your apartment and the people that are handling you are gone, and you're just kind of sitting in your apartment by yourself and kind of go, oh dear, what have I gotten myself into? You just kind of have to get through it. You either have to start learning or you don't. So honestly, that sort of stress is really good for motivating you to learn a thing or two.
My biggest co-op fail would probably be my first ever interview.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Instead of preparing for this interview like I should have done, I just, I was like, oh, I'll know what to say when I get on the phone. And it was a phone interview.
Oh.
And I didn't even think to book a room or prepare a spot to take it. So I sat down in the hallway on the second floor of the Cunningham building and took this interview on the phone, and it was a disaster, obviously. And they were asking me all sorts of specialized questions I didn't prepare for. They probably heard people walking around in the background. So yeah, I've come a long way from that. Always prepare for your interviews, make sure you have a room, make sure you practice with a friend, because that didn't go well for me.
Make sure you research what they do.
Yes, that as well. I don't think I knew what they did on the phone interview. I didn't even think I knew what the job was. It was embarrassing, honestly. But I learned a lot from it.
We were out in the field and we had all of our field gear in the back of a truck. The tailgate didn't close properly, which might or might not have been someone's fault who's sitting here. And we drove and went up a hill, and all of our gear for like 2 weeks slid out and hit the bottom of the hill, and we didn't notice till the top of the hill. So we had to drive all the way down this hill and pick up all of our stuff, and it took like way too long. So that was bad. Kind of made me double check some details, especially when you're out in the woods. And yeah, little things can cause a huge mess. So really, like, attention to detail is huge.